here we are back at this incredible pond. We're gonna walk you guys through it and see where we're at and what we've got to finish.
Oh my God, this place is insane. The amount of work they've done since we've been gone. Waterfalls are running, water looks clear, there's fish in here, Kim's doing all the plantings, it looks incredible.
Like Brian said, Matt and the guys have been busy since we've been here. They put in this awesome deck which cantilevers out over the pond. He said they've been using the heck out of this. The kids have been swimming in this constantly, and the pond looks fantastic. They built a pavilion structure over on that side like we talked about. There's going to be a future patio underneath it. You can see they're already using it with the chairs laid out. And check out the view from here. This is why you build it. Those waterfalls are running half power right now. He's just got a couple small pumps on them. When that thing is running full steam, it's gonna be just amazing. But look at the vista from here. This pond has matured just in the time since we were here last, incredibly. Got some lilies coming in. They planted some iris along the shoreline. Lots of other assorted plants that are starting to come in. We've got some taro over there. All the plant life that we thought would start coming in is starting to do just that. And it's gonna blur that line between aquatic and terrestrial. Over the next season or two, I see just a couple of rocks that'll be poking out of there, followed by just a shoreline of greenery. It's gonna look incredible. It already does. Check out the vista from here, looking down. This is an absolute paradise.
All right, so last time we were here, we finished up right in this area. I remember actually running through cases of foam up and through here. We did that wetland. I think we've got 2 snorkels, 4 total centipedes on this. It's a really large wetland. As large as this wetland is, it's not large enough. We're still gonna do one more wetland. So up in the distance over here, we're gonna do another wetland, which gives us a couple more cascades. So I don't know if you guys can see the topography here, but from the edge of the water up to there is probably a good 4 feet. And then where this gentleman's walking up here is probably another 3 to 4 feet higher than that. So we have 7 feet of more waterfalls to build, plus another wetland, and get all the boulders set up in this thing. So it looks easier than what we've done in the past, but I guarantee this is a lot of work. And tomorrow they're calling for a 100% chance of rain. So we've got our work cut out for us, to say the least. Here we go. If you build it, they will come, right? We say it all the time. And so in this case, what's happened is you've got fish that have been sucked up by the pump, and not even necessarily this size, right? They can be sucked up as babies, and then up in a wetland filter, they'll grow 3 times faster because all the nutrients and everything up here are exactly what they're looking for to survive. There are also no predators down here, but there's literally hundreds of these guys. So what we tried to do is corral them all over here to this pump and shoot them back down the stream. Because this is putting a small dent in the amount of fish that were actually in here.
That means those fish went from the pond down below, through the whole pump system, through hundreds of feet of pipe, and made their way up to this wetland filter. And I've seen this happen before, and it's so cool to actually see them survive. I mean, imagine going through a pump and then push through all this pipe and making your way through the filter. I mean, that's pretty cool. Brian's gonna release those guys, and we're gonna get started with setting some rocks inside here. We wanna make this look like a continuation of our stream up the hill. So we're gonna bring in some rock work. We've got 2 of our snorkel vault caps. We're gonna put some extensions on these guys, get them up higher so we can do some rock work, kind of build them in and still keep them accessible for doing clean outs. Then on the backside, we're gonna cut this dirt down. We want a waterfall coming in somewhere in this corner here, create a pooling area up behind that, and we're gonna make a hard left-hander going up to where our other constructed wetland filter is gonna be, with a waterfall coming out of that. Right now, what Matt's doing is cutting down the grade here for line of sight. So from the bottom, we wanna be able to see straight on through to what that future waterfall is going to be at the headwaters of our system. We've got a lot of dirt to move and a lot of rocks to set. It's time to get busy. My job. I love my job. I love my job. Great. As you can tell, it is raining here on day 2, and I don't even have my regular camera out because it can't stand the rain like this. So we got a lot accomplished yesterday, and today 2 inches of rain, high winds. We're gonna try and do some stuff, but it might be futile. We'll see how it goes. But the progress we made yesterday is really good. We got the inside of the wetland rocked in for the most part. We carved out the next section of waterfall, and you can see that big rock up on the left. That is the frame of what's going to be coming out of our wetland filter. Ideally today we're going to try and get our plumbing up to the top at least, because there's 2 large 6-inch lines that we have to dig in, do some pipe work to actually get those up there to feed the next wetland section. I don't know. Brian hasn't even come outside yet, so let's go for it on day 2. Maybe just a little bit.
A few moments later.
California weather. We got this. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah. It's just I'm just not as flexible inside this rain suit. Normally I'm very agile and bounce around a little easier.
Starting out this morning with a real mess. It's Wednesday. We have until Saturday to actually finish this. We want to get this wetland filter done up top, the rest of these waterfalls. All the rock work has to be finished so this job can be put to bed. It's going to be tough sledding today. We came off of 3 inches of rain from yesterday. Even with the rain, we were still able to get some of our 6-inch PVC pipe in up to the point over here where it's going to be entering the wetland. That's going to give us a real head start today on getting our rock work in. Now we can come through here, finish up all these outcroppings, and tie into what is going to be our last series of waterfalls. At the headwaters, at the very top there's going to be a 20 by 25 constructed wetland filter that feeds this series of cascades. Down here is our secondary wetland filter. This one's about a 15 by 15. We got most of our rock work done inside the wetland. We've got a little bit of touch up left to do here. Now it's at the point where we got to start building out like this whole pooling area. We're going to have multiple cascades coming down the center here. Line of sight is extremely important. There's a pathway coming right up there. We actually cut all this earth out and moved it back so that we can clean up line of sight. So when you're walking down the path, you see this awesome set of waterfalls. Job number 1 is get our site cleaned up so we can actually get started working. We've got some staging to do. We want to bring some more boulders up here, some more gravel, so we can get to work. Then what we're going to do is start by pulling this rock out. That was initially going to be our frame rock, but we looked at it spatially and the way it lines up with the liner, it's just not going to work. We're changing gears, starting a little bit smaller on this side, bringing the waterfall a little more to the right so we can be okay with our liner on the left side and still stay within scale. Even though we had the worst weather possible yesterday, I still wouldn't rather be doing anything else. I love the way this project is turning out. I'm super excited to see this all come to fruition. This has been a long time coming. You guys stick around. This thing is going to be epic.
Getting dirty, boys and girls, children, grandparents, grandmas. One waterfall is built. We're backfilling with all this gravel. I love on big projects using a whole lot of gravel. The reason is it just makes the rocks that much more stable. So there's two ways to do it. You can see this waterfall down here. We could have effortlessly taken that liner, folded it all the way back, and behind the liner backfilled, bringing that liner right up tight to this. But when we do that, you get all these crazy folds in the liner. It also shrinks our liner down quite a bit when we do it that way. Then we'd have to come in and compact all that soil, and with all that rain and everything we had yesterday, we'd be dealing with a lot of mud. Another way to do it is leave the liner back up here like we've got it, fill this whole void with gravel, and then set our next boulder back in here, which will create another waterfall coming through here. I like using the gravel on these bigger projects because when we're setting 1,000-pound, 4,000-pound rocks, it just makes a much more stable surface. The only negative side behind using all that gravel, first, it's a lot of gravel. It's almost impossible to estimate how much you're gonna use. Second, I'm gonna use cases of foam. So all of this, if I've got a waterfall coming through here, right here, and I want it to come over this rock, it won't, because it's gonna go through all of this gravel right here. So I'd have to come in, cut a piece of fabric over the top of this, and then foam this entire thing. So you use a lot more foam, but it's a much more solid, longer lasting method for building large waterfalls.
Majority of our rock work is in for our waterfall sections coming out of our wetland filter. It's looking great over here with these outcroppings flanking the outside of our frame rocks. Same thing on this side. Now we've got to stop at this point because now we have to dig for our constructed wetland. And this is going to be a challenge. Things are getting tight up here real fast, and I've got this gigantic machine I've got to dig this with. We're doing an 18 by 30 wetland. We were going to do a 20 by 25, but just to go back that much further, we've got a 6 or 7 foot cut just to get down to grade. Then we have to go like another 4 feet down. So it's just too big of a cut. We brought it in a little bit and we just lengthened the wetland itself. Now I'm gonna go through here, get all the dirt cut down to grade, and then somehow manage it all. I don't want any more soil on this side because then I won't be able to get it out. So we're gonna toss it all up on top and move it out with the backhoe into the truck. Things are getting technical now with moving all the soil, getting the machine positioned so I can actually still work and not get trapped. And then we got to actually get back in here and be able to set boulders. So luckily I've got decades of experience as a union heavy equipment operator, so that's going to come in handy getting this excavation done. We're going to shape this out tonight. Tomorrow we're digging the wetland. We'll see you then.